wasted. And Chris comes up to me and he's like, Jim lives really close to you, like 30 seconds away. Do you mind taking him home? I'm like, I don't care, whatever. And Jim looked at him and was like, dude, he's wasted. Yeah. Why? Chris looked at me and he's like, he's a professional. It's okay.
He's a stunt driver. He's fine. He can do this. Set up a couple flaming hoops. He'll do it.
But it's true. Like, I don't remember the conversation at all that we had. But apparently I became very scientific and very, like, not conspiracy kind of a thing, but, like, very, like, scientific, I guess is the word to call it, I guess. But, I mean, I stumbled to get into the truck. I pulled out of the spot, and as soon as we took off down the road, he's like, dude, you're the straightest drunk guy I've ever driven with in my life.
Jeez, man.
Like, no crossing lines, no nothing. And I'm like, it's because I do it all the time.
like Chris said, I'm a professional, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad.
Yeah, very, very bad.
And that's not even close to the worst I've ever been.
If that's not even close to the worst you've ever been, I don't even know if I want to hear that.
All right, so
I'm sitting there. I shit my pants.
Let's not get into those stories right now.
Oh, those stories exist. All right, next one, next podcast.
Yes. Ask Chris. So I went up to Caney's Tavern up in Barville, Chepachet area.
Okay.
Up 44, way, like, a couple miles from Connecticut. So, took a couple buddies of mine with me. My buddy Jeff's band was playing at the time, and then my father was playing in between sets for him. So, we're going back a long time ago now. We're going back. So, I'd say probably a good 8 years ago.
All right.
Between at least 8 years ago, I'd say. So, I picked up my buddy, a couple of my buddies in West Warwick. I think I killed 4 bears at their place.
All right.
I took 2 with me? 3 with me? I took 3 with me. I killed those halfway there. So now I'm already 7 deep before I even get to the bar. I didn't have much money. So, I told my dad, pack me like 6 beers in the cooler, because he was taking some too. Okay, no problem. So, we get to the bar. My buddy buys me a beer. I grab a beer. I go outside to smoke a cigarette, grab a beer out of the cooler. Go back inside, have another beer. Go back outside, smoke a cigarette, grab another beer. Smoke a joint. Go back inside. Somebody else bought me a beer. Needless to say, the 6 beers that I had in the car were gone. I probably had 4 more in the bar. Smoked 2 joints. And I was the only one that could drive home because I drove a stick shift and neither one of them could drive them. Yeah. Made it home.
That's good because you're a professional.
That was one of the worst times.
Yeah, but
I've had a few of those, and it was.
Yeah, Ryan, just having that like mentality of like, you know what, I'm fucking invincible, man. Like,
but here's the thing, like if I get to a certain point, and something happens, I can snap out of it. Maybe not so much now because I'm not used to it anymore. I haven't done it in a long time.
Right.
But back then, I could snap out of it.
Yeah, you could just sober up really quick.
You knew about me and Chris in the dunes.
Yeah.
The one night with smoking and stuff, right?
I think I heard that story, yeah.
Yeah, okay. We fishbowled my truck for 45 minutes. Legit opened the doors to the truck, and it was a billow of smoke came out.
Jeez, man.
He still had the pipe in his hand, and a cop rolls by. And stops. Never got out of the car. But I shut it off like that.
Yeah.
We had a perfectly good conversation back and forth from the truck to the car. He was perfectly fine to me, I was perfectly fine to him, and he told us to have a great night and took off.
Yeah.
Never even got out of the car.
Like, it's almost like that fear instinct kind of kicks in, like some type of adrenaline, just like sets your shit straight.
It is.
You know?
It is. It's terrible. I remember going out, going to bowling one night with a few friends, and I mean that's when I was drinking heavily, and my buddy Kyle at the time, I told him, like, dude, do not try and keep up with me drinking. And I think he was doing good up until the second half of the night. Like, he drank his own or whatever, and then by like the second half of the night, if you want to call it, when I kicked into that certain area, it was one of those we were grabbing pictures, and I'd fill mine up. If his was half full, I'd fill his up too, not thinking, not realizing. So he got super fucked up.
Jeez.
Was sick in the back of the car and all this other stuff and whatnot, and I was like, oh no. Like, I'm in the back of the car with him, and we pulled over, and I shut down. Like, I kicked it right off somehow, and pulled him out of the car, you know, all over his sweatshirt, everything. Like,
Oof.
Took the sweatshirt off, threw that away, got him in the car, we got back to the house, you know, put him in the tub with some cold water and stuff like that, just to, you know, soak him up a little bit and whatnot, and you know, I took off and went home from there. But
jeez,
you know, I don't know how I did it, but
and I mean that's the thing though. Like in a sense though, like like I don't mind if people get drunk or if they get stoned or whatever thing is. The only thing I like ask of people, like, look, if you're gonna do that, just handle your high.
yeah,
You know, you gotta get high, go for it. Just don't be a dick. You know, it's like there was this kid I went to college with. He was actually our roommate for maybe half of a semester.
yeah,
And easily worst roommate that I've ever had in my life. Like, had one of those giant, like, metal alarm clocks, you know what I'm talking about? The two fucking bells on the side of it. Yeah, the cartoonish kind of one. Had one of those, thing went off in the morning. Dude, I sprung out of fucking bed like it was my cousin Vinny, like, what the fuck is that?
Right?
I remember my buddy Bruce and I, like, he and I were roommates. We were in this 3-person room with this kid. And it was like 10:30 at night or something like that, and we had like a French class or something like that, and the next morning at like 8 o'clock. So we're trying to get some sleep, so we gotta be up at like 6:30ish. And he's watching some fucking movie. You know, he's got the fucking volume almost blasting. I look down at Bruce, like, I roll over my bed. We were on bunk beds. I roll over him. I just look at him. I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious? And he just looks over. He's like, God fucking damn it. He's like, dude, can you just watch that some other time, or like just put headphones on or something like that?
Right.
And like the kid didn't even know. He's like, oh, dude, just sorry guys, I didn't know you were sleeping. It's like, we're in bed.
Right.
Like, that's like the signal. Like, hey, sleepy time.
I'm a miserable bastard if I don't get any sleep.
I try and handle that, but I've gotten a lot better at it.
I have too, but I'm miserable. If I don't get much sleep, like when we went to Florida a month ago, we did Disney and whatnot. We got had an issue with the car rental and all that other stuff. We were stuck at the airport for over 2 hours. We flew in at 8:30. We didn't get out of the airport until almost 11. Had to go down to downtown Disney to go get tickets, and then go to the hotel.
Yeah.
We had breakfast reservations at Be Our Guest for 8:15 in the morning. We didn't we didn't check into the hotel until 12:30. In bed at 1. She was up at 6 to go take a shower. She reset the alarm for me for 6:30.
Yeah.
So by the time she was done in the bathroom, the alarm went off. I got up to go to the bathroom, do what I had to do. Got back out, packed the car by 7. We were out of there by 7:10. At the parked by 7:40. All day, we were at the park until like 2:30. Went back down to downtown Disney so she could get her stuff signed from her artist that she's in love with.
All right.
And then from there, it was a 3-hour drive to Lehigh Acres on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Because we stayed there for the one day, and then we went to go see friends of ours.
Yeah.
Down in Fort Myers, Lehigh Acres area. So it's like a 3-hour drive from Orlando there. And it was, by the time we got there, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like
just such a long day, but
yeah.
you know.
Like granted, I can kind of function on like very little sleep. I'm able to kind of snap out of it pretty quickly. Like as soon as I kind of get into the car, I'm like, got the music blasting. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to go here.
Yeah.
But there was one time when I was just like, I was beyond fucking exhausted that like I legit fell asleep behind the wheel one time. It was like, this was back, oh God, I was working at that hotel 2009, like the last year that I was working at this hotel, like setting up AV equipment and whatnot. And so basically what they had me do was I was still interning at WZLX at the time, so I had to go from there, drive down to about 10 minutes past Foxwoods, like the exit for Foxwoods. I had to drive about another 10 minutes there to get to the hotel that I worked at.
Oh, that's right, because you were doing that as well, right?
Yeah, I was doing that as well. You know, not a bad gig. I mean, over $15 an hour, benefits, full time, all that shit. So it's pretty cool. But, you know, the guy says, "Hey, you know, do you want to grab some extra hours?" I'm thinking like, okay, it's probably like later on in the fucking week or something like that. He goes, "Well, no, they need this. They need some help at this hotel. They have some big function going on." He's like, you know, you get reimbursed for travel. He's like, the hotel room is on them. I'm like, all right, yeah, perfect, man. I'll do it. When do you need that? He's like, they're doing it tonight. I'm like, oh shit. All right, well, I already said I would do it, so. Yeah.
But you know what? You got a hotel room. You got paid for the mileage. You get paid for that. It's
yeah.
Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Like, stupid me though. Like, I get to the place, and they said, okay, you know, we're gonna bring you up. You know, we'll get you the hotel room. He's like, you know, just hang out there. We're not gonna really need you until maybe midnight-ish. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool, whatnot. So I go up to the room and just fucking bored in the hotel room. So I'm like, all right, let me go walk around the area for a little bit. Maybe they'll help me get some sleep or something like that. Find like a CVS, grab like a couple of Cokes. So I'm like, all right, I'll have some caffeine in the morning, all that shit. Because like, coffee sucks. I'm sorry. There you are.
I know.
Big,
I got it.
Big fucking cup of iced coffee sitting in front of me right there.
Like, damn it. This is what gets me through.
Hey, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
So I can't fall asleep. So I got the TV going and whatnot. I'm just like,
yeah, you're just overtired to the point where you can't sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I gotta, you know, I go to the room where they're supposed to meet at like 11:30. I'm like, all right, you know, show up early. You know, get, you know, show them, hey, I can do this. So we work for about 4 hours straight till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and like I'm just exhausted at this point. I'm just like, I'm almost like dragging my feet. I'm dressed in a fucking suit.
Yeah.
And they're even looking at me like, dude, why are you wearing the suit? I'm like, it's what I wear for the other hotel. And like, you guys don't wear a suit? He's like, well, there's gonna be nobody here at like midnight. He's like, you could have come in here with a t-shirt, jeans, and sneakers. He's like, we wouldn't have given a shit. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Right.
So, all right, so it's like 4 o'clock in the morning and whatnot. And, I mean, the Cokes are gone at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, you know, I gotta stay awake, fucking keep doing this shit, you know, lay down some wire, all that shit. So they said, all right, you know what, why don't you go back to your hotel room, grab some sleep, and we'll be back down here at like 6 in the morning. I'm like, the fuck? So I get up there, I sleep for about an hour, and I wake up, shower, throw the same fucking suit that I had on, because I was the only, like, clothes that I had.